So technically this is a 2-bedroom flat, and we debated for quite a bit of time whether or not to turn this room into a bedroom, but we opted to use it as a study rather. I'd rather have rooms in a house that you use rather than rooms you just look at. Not exactly the most well-lit room in the house. The view out the window is not exactly giving much. We actually lucked out on the desk, Facebook Marketplace find, Soho Home Desk, which is pretty handy. We wanted something that sort of blended the line between like that mid-century and then quite English feeling.
Now we're in my garden office, and this is where I write and where I get inspiration by looking over my kitchen garden. It's a real sort of feeling of everything that I find is Hill House vintage, this sort of juxtaposition between the old and new. I've got a very old-fashioned typewriter in the corner, but then I've got my modern computer, diary, calendar, which I actually have to manually change to get my date every morning. It has my vintage sort of stationery. So it has this feeling of being quite old-fashioned, but also it's where I'm very productive. I do my podcast in here, have my Zoom meetings in here, so it's a real mixture of the old and new. The actual building itself, I feel very proud because I helped build it. So during lockdown, we had a family friend who was trying to help me build this. So in between lockdowns, I would help and be up with the trusses and help put the roof on and help put the sides up, and I'd be there with, he's quite elderly actually, in his 70s. It was a real labour of love that I did with just another gentleman. So I feel very proud that not only is it a lovely space to be in, but it's something that I helped to build, which is, warms my heart whenever I come in here. But I also love to read. It's a very tranquil place. I've got lots of these vintage and antique gardening books. And of course, my own book is The Potting Shed Murder, which is very fitting because I'm in my kitchen garden, but also I'm next to my potting shed. So it seemed very obvious to sort of set a cosy crime mystery in something that spoke to me, to do with my garden, to do with my potting shed. My dog usually has a little bed underneath my desk, so she's at my feet. And I've always got flowers in, hopefully, usually from the garden, but sometimes I buy them in, but they bring me a lot of joy. The entire room brings me lots of joy.
I set about trying to find a lovely desk to have at home, and I ended up finding this. It's actually a vintage IKEA that I found on a Swedish auction site. Placed the bid, didn't really think much more, and then it came to the part of shipping.
Through here is our dressing room, but you can't quite see that yet because it's a complete tip and we haven't finished it yet. But in this little corner is my studio where I do my designs for the ottomans and work for interior design clients.
This we kept as a desk space. We actually took the stone from the bath. So this is the bath cutout in a way to try and be resourceful and try not to be so wasteful. This is another Lucy Law print, and I just quite like the colours and the tones. It felt like it was kind of another calming aspect to add to this little space. This is our work zone. It's all about being able to kind of switch off from everything else and really focus. So it's about getting your coffee, it's whatever snacks you need. I like to time myself to give myself kind of allotted, an hour to do this and allocated job. Anything that might distract me or take me away from my work.
So you've seen the house, and now this is the final piece of the puzzle, the basement, which is my glassette office. Now this space was kind of built when we decorated the house, and it's quite industrial, which feels a bit different to what's going on upstairs. So we decided to put this really nice round table in here by Fred Rigby with these beautiful vintage chairs from Old Woods, which is a seller that I found on Instagram. Well, I think you've had the ground tour. I need to do some work. You need to leave. I will see you later. But also, don't forget to subscribe to the Sunny Time Style YouTube channel. Go on, off you go.
I really love this design. It's a ladder X. It's modular, so you can put desks or shelves and use it how it suits your space. When I told the children that I wouldn't be bringing all their toys and books, I just said, look, you're 20 and 18 and I'm not throwing them away. They're going to be there in a container, but We'll put a few things to personalise your room, but I wanted it to feel like a space where you could come and feel like you were coming away to relax on holiday. But my office is an exception, and I've got a few pictures of my children up here, and there's a picture of a version of me. That's a long time ago now, glamorous me.